Ron had made a beautiful, I stole this off you, I hope you don't get me for copyright infringement or something. How about Ron for the stickers we had this year? He also made a great website. If you want to keep abreast of things, the website is MidwestBanjoFest.com. And it's a beautiful website. I think we'll update it and whatnot. But thanks so much. Lots of pictures and cool stuff. So thanks to Ron for that. And then, quiz at 11. We took a little donation last night. I don't know how many were there last night. All of you or part of you? Real impromptu thing. If you were there, you remember the event. But Janice Deco got up and took a hat and off a guy and passed it around. I had no idea. I threw it in a box. I said, okay, well, let's count it. And through the generosity of the banjo members, I took a little guess on how much I think was really in there. There was $412 in this little baseball cap. So, yeah, that's what I thought. I think a lot of people feel like I do. You want to do this again. Yep. Am I kind of right on base there? I've said since we undertook this years ago, and I can remember Bob and I after this event, Bob Mitchell, many times we'd get together in the bar and he'd be rolling a cigarette. What do you think? You know, there's many years we lost money, but our hearts are right here. I mean, I'm like Bob in many respects. I came here as a youngster, like the little guys out there that are there, and my dad dragged me in here. And at those days, my dad had to stay. He had to stay with me, you know, guardian thing and all that. And he would kind of. I learned how to drive actually because of that too. Did I tell you that? No, he'd get so sauced. Say, you're close enough to 15, and that's a temporary permit, which you legally don't need. Why don't you drive home? So, anyway, there's a lot of memory. We played a New Year's job. That's true. We went home at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I remember driving clear from halfway from Minnesota home. A lot of great memories. We won't share all of them with you. But he was really an inspiration. Another guy was John Carroll. He was a pretty wild man in his day, but he was a true, his heart was in the banjo. He had a lot of other issues sometimes that were at hand, but John, I sure give him hats off. To another gentleman, is the guy right above the pictures. I don't know if many of you remember him. He's playing a trumpet, and he would always come and lead our jam sessions for many years. When our head counts would go up and down, it was Dick Erickson was his name, and no relation to me at all. Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy things happen when you're a banjo player. I remember we played at the Cerise. Paul Dinger, great piano player I worked with for many years. We were playing at the Cerise Club one night. There was, let me look at my head here. 1, 2, 3. There was 5 of us in the place at closing time. And only 3 really left. Yeah. And it's funny because I was talking to a guy at the bar, and he had a napkin on his drink. I actually live in the Crosse, not on Alaska, but the guy robbed the place and killed the bartender and his daughter, or his girlfriend. It wasn't his girlfriend, it was a friend from the university. But that was in the early to mid-'70s. And Dick Erickson would never go to the Cerise Club for the jam session. 30 years later, he says, well, Rosie, his girlfriend, that was her daughter. So it's kind of a small world. That's my point of that story. Crazy things happen in the banjo world. And, but anyway, I want to read you a quick, I don't want to bore you. I could go on all day. But here's something from Doris had given me from 1965. She found this. You're invited to attend a banjo jamboree held by the area members of the Midwest Banjo Club, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Saturday, September 12th. And this is 1965. Number 5 Shelter House, Sportsman Park, Goose Island, La Crosse. This is the funny part. I'll get right to it. Bring your uke and yourself. For $1, you get a sandwich, a hot dish, or a cup of coffee. The founding members were at that time Bob Mitchell, Leo Dahlberg, Tom Fuchs, Andy Anderson, Howard Bassett, and Bob Price. So, and it went into the 70s with an invite letter. It has Andy Anderson, Paul Lynch, Elaine Shaw, Tony Jurgensen, Milton Bauer, who was actually here and attended, what was it, 69? Yeah, something like that. Ed Erickson, who played banjo, Leo Dahlberg, or Pat Murphy, I'm sorry, Pat. And Ed Sullivan, remember going to Sullivan's in the early years, any of you? We used to truck out there to the restaurant. Mary Horshack, Dwayne Peterson, Lowell Schreier, and of course, we miss him. Tom Fuchs, James Trish, Bob Mitchell, Clyde Morrison, Victor Bendel, and Richard Dick Peterson. And it really grew, and it continues to grow, and I'm going to say we're going to keep it going, I guess. I've always said this is the players' venue. I took it over and kind of try and steer it, but as long as there's an interest, let's keep it going. Besides that, I mentioned it to my little girls who left. They knew I'm going to play soon, and they said, "Daddy, if you didn't play that banjo, how could we go on all these cool vacations to places like Louisville and next year to Branson?" And actually, those things came about from me coming here. I can remember my dad used to put all the stickers in the downstairs hallway. And it was like an inspiration, to see them there. This is a hard one. Give me a minute. This gentleman has been with us 22 years, and we want to thank him. Clancy and Marilyn. Come on out here, Marilyn.
He's right in front.
Oh, you're right in front of me. See, that's what happens when I go to the store. I don't. He's indicated he's going to move on and done a bang-up job for us, man. It's the things behind the scenes that you don't see. Stand up, Clancy, and I personally want to thank you, man. You are the driving wheel, baby. Marilyn, you're right in there with him. So, there's so many others, but again.
Paul, I appreciate what you say, but I also share your feeling that we must keep this going on. I'm stepping down simply because it's time that I did. But in your hands lies the future. There are so many things that guy up on the stage has carried for so many years, and he's determined to keep it going, but there's a reality. And the reality is, you got to help him. There are so many things, baby steps, that people could be doing. Somebody could be out there taking pictures, besides my wife Marilyn and Don Moritz, who have done it for years and years. Somebody could be writing the newspaper article, the article for Johnny's news, and somebody could be